The other day I decided to be like super responsible and check my car's tire pressure.
Oh no, I can already see where this is going.
Yeah, I grabbed this old analog gauge out of the glove box, right? And I'm staring at these tiny, completely impossible to read tick marks.
They really are the worst.
Right. So I thought it read 40 psi, and I tried to let a little air out to hit 35. And, well, long story short, I completely misread the dial and just deflated my tire right there in the driveway.
Oh man. Yeah, human error meets a totally confusing physical interface.
Exactly. And getting machines to navigate that exact kind of messy physical confusion is, essentially the holy grail of AI. And DeepMind's new Gemini Robotics ER 1.6 model might have just cracked it.
Yeah, looking at DeepMind sources today, we're really focusing on this new embodied reasoning model, or ER.
But real quick, speaking of tracking tough problems, if you need help with AI training, automation, software development, or uncovering where agents could make the most impact for your business or personal life, check out embersilk.com for your AI needs.
Definitely check them out. But yeah, what we're seeing with ER 1.6 is how physical AI agents are evolving. I mean, they're going from just blindly following basic instructions to dynamically reasoning about complex environments.
Really messy environments, right?
Exactly. And in real time, it's just an incredibly optimistic leap forward for the future of robotics.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because to understand how it works, we really need to look at the architecture. DeepMind has a few systems working together here.
Right, they do.
You've probably heard of VLA, or Vision Language Action models. Think of the VLA model as like the robot's muscle memory. It's the physical instinct that actually extends the arm and, grasps the tool.
Yeah, the brawn of the operation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this new ER 1.6 model, on the other hand, is the frontal lobe. It's looking at the entire workbench, deciding which tool to grab first, and actively checking if the task is progressing correctly.
And what's fascinating here is that because it operates as that frontal lobe, ER 1.6 is highly agentic.
Meaning it's acting on its own.
Right. It doesn't just sit there processing text in isolation. It can natively call on tools to execute complex physical plans. Like if it needs context, it actually queries Google search.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
Yeah. And once it decides on a strategy, it directs those VLA muscle models to physically move.
I mean, I struggle to see how this works reliably in a truly messy space, though. Like, my completely disorganized garage, language models are notorious for hallucinating.
True, that's been a big hurdle.
So what stops this frontal lobe from looking at a shadow in the corner and hallucinating a wheelbarrow that just isn't actually there?
Well, that is where a really cool new capability called pointing comes in. It's essentially the foundation of their spatial reasoning.
Pointing, like literally pointing at something.
Sort of, yeah. Instead of just generating a text description like, there are pliers on the table, ER 1.6 actually generates specific X and Y pixel coordinates.
Oh, interesting.
Right. It literally draws an invisible dot on the exact location of each tool. This forces the AI to ground its language in physical reality.
So it has to actually prove it sees the object.
Precisely. Like in their benchmark tests, it accurately identified exactly 6 pliers and 2 hammers in a highly cluttered image, while completely ignoring requests to find objects that just weren't physically present.
That is huge. So the pointing keeps it totally grounded.
Yeah, and it pairs that spatial awareness with something called success detection. Most modern robots have multiple cameras, right? Usually an overhead view and maybe a wrist-mounted feed.
Right, to see what the hand is actually doing.
Exactly. So ER 1.6 synthesizes those different camera streams simultaneously. It isn't just guessing based on a single obscured angle,
Yeah.
It confirms a task is genuinely finished across multiple viewpoints.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because it can confirm success across multiple cameras and accurately pinpoint objects, it can finally be trusted in high-stakes, unpredictable environments.
Yeah, the really dynamic stuff.
Which is exactly why Boston Dynamics is putting this brain into Spot, their robot dog, for industrial facility inspections.
That's right. They're using ER 1.6, so Spot can read analog dials and sight classes using agentic vision.
And it does this in such a brilliant way. It doesn't just try to visually guess the number on the dial like I did.
Thankfully, no.
Right. The model actually writes a mini Python script on the fly to calculate the geometric angle of the needle against the tick marks. It literally does the exact math I completely failed to do with my tire gauge, but it does it perfectly.
And importantly, because of that spatial grounding, it does all of this incredibly safely. This is actually their safest model yet because it naturally adheres to physical constraints.
Like what kind of constraints?
Well, you can give it instructions like don't handle liquids or don't pick up objects heavier than 20 kilograms, and it complies perfectly.
Wow. So what does this all mean for you? We are looking at a deeply inspiring future where robots become incredibly capable autonomous partners.
Absolutely.
They're getting ready to take over the tedious physical tasks we'd really rather not do alone.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, if robots can dynamically reason and interact with physical constraints natively, it makes you wonder, at what point do we stop writing rigid software for industrial machines and just start asking them to figure out the factory floor themselves?
I love that thought. Just letting them figure it out.
Yeah.
What everyday physical chore would you delegate to a robot that can dynamically reason just like you?
That really is the dream.
Totally. Well, if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the show. Hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in.